So it's obviously a testament to the speaker that so many of you have come here to listen. So indeed, we are very fortunate that Dr. Sudha Murty agreed at very short notice. In fact, she has been very keen to come to ICTS, and then when I invited her, she was not yet sure about her schedule since she has to go for Parliament. But as soon as the dates were announced, she immediately reached out and suggested this date, and we decided to fold it into the activities of this summer program for women in mathematics and statistics, from which many of you here in the audience are. As you know, the summer program for women in maths and statistics is something ICTS has been running. Shiva, Treya, Dutika, and Rhythm are the organizers who have been putting this together, and now it's in its sixth installment. And every year we have bright young women students in their first year undergraduate come here for a very intense immersion for 2 weeks into mathematics and statistics. I think it's been a very sought after opportunity for many people. And as part of this, a very nice idea that the organizers had was to invite people who would be role models and for women in their pursuit of further knowledge, research, and other things that their path takes them on. And I think Professor Dr. Sudha Murty exemplifies some of that journey that women have taken. And I'll just say a little bit by way of introduction. Ms. Murty was born in 1950 in Shiggaon in North Karnataka. And she grew up in a family with her parents and 3 siblings. She completed her engineering in electronics and electrical engineering from B.V.B. College of Engineering and Technology in Hubli. And in 1974, she completed her master's in computer science from IISc. So you can imagine 1974, when computers were sort of barely on the consciousness of most people. I think she was probably one of the few women scientists to be enrolled in one of the few computer science programs in the country. I think IISc, IIT Kanpur, and others were probably some of the few places which had even a degree. So she was a pioneer in that. Then she became the first woman engineer to be hired at TELCO, now Tata Motors, and worked there for 8 years. And she has, of course, since then had, I think, multitude of careers. She played a very important role with Infosys, and for 25 years she was the founder and the chairperson of the Infosys Foundation, and which has had an impact in many areas, including the fields of healthcare, education, art and culture, women's empowerment, and public hygiene. And amongst the smaller things has been even to support institutions of excellence like ICTS, and the Infosys Foundation had been very generous under her chairpersonship to support some of our flagship lecture series, some of the special chairs that we have, chaired professorships that we have, some of the international exchange programs that we have. So this was, I think, part of the vision of the foundation that she led. She also supported relief efforts during 16 natural disasters, established libraries in more than 70,000 schools in Karnataka, many thousands of toilets and dormitories, etc. But that's not the only facet of Ms. Murty, as you all know, and probably that's how many of you know of her. She is a prolific writer. She had developed reading from a very early age, and she has several best-selling books, I think nearly 300 titles, and these have been in a variety of genres, from children's books, short stories, novels, technical books, and travelogues. She mainly writes in English and Kannada, but I think her books have been translated into most Indian languages and have sold over 6 million copies around the country. And some of them have been even translated into other languages abroad, like Italian and Arabic. Among her famous titles are Grandmother's Bag of Stories, Gently Falls the Bakula, Gopi Diaries. I had the nice fortune of meeting Gopi some time back, 3,000 Stitches and Vice and Otherwise. So that tells you a brief idea of the many different facets. Over the years, her efforts have been recognized with many prestigious awards, including the Padma Bhushan and the Padma Shri in 2023 and 2006, respectively. For her literature, the Sahitya Academy Award in 2023, also the R.K. Narayan Award for Literature in 2006, and the Lal Bahadur Shastri Prize for a national award in 2020. The Karnataka government has also honored her for her contributions to Kannada literature through the Rajyotsava and the Attimabe awards. And she has received more than 15 honorary doctorates from universities across India and IIT Kanpur. And as I just alluded a while ago, she is now embarking on yet a new frontier, which is as a nominated member of parliament by the president. She will be speaking up for us in the Rajya Sabha as voice of the people. And I think that will be, she sees it as a deeper platform to serve the country. So with that introduction, I'll hand it over to Dr. Murty. I think she would like to keep it very extempore, very informal, as is her style. And I think, so please interact. I think she's looking forward to interacting with all of you, hearing your questions and taking you through her journey as well. So over to you, Smurti. And
thanks, Rajesh, for generous introduction. Too much. Okay. I'm not a doctor like all of you, worked 20 hours a day and wrote a thesis and defended that and got your doctorate. They're all honorary doctors. You should not use the word doctor for me at all. It's always nice to see a lot of girls. And many times boys complain that I'm pro-girls all the time. And because they do not know what it is to be a girl. 70 years back, I'm 74, or 50 years back. So I have a different method of interacting. I will not give you a sermon. I was a computer science teacher in the Christ University. And I realize my students will not listen. If you go on giving sermon after 40 minutes, even after 10 minutes, they will sleep. So I will have an interactive session. You can ask questions and I will answer whatever I know, okay? Except a few questions, like when Mr. Murty was unemployed and when you went out, who paid the bill? That immediately I will tell, I paid the bill, don't ask that question and embarrass him now. Leaving that, let's have an interactive session. You can ask whatever you feel, as long as legally, ethically it is right. You should ask me questions. I'll tell a little bit about how women have changed in 50 years. People who are born and brought up in big cities will not realize that. And that's true, most of you are around 20 years, 19 years. I joined engineering maybe 56 years back, 1968 I joined engineering. It was unheard, a place like Hubli, it was unheard. The rules of the society in those days were boys have to go to engineering, girls should not even look at that college. Second thing, I was born in a Brahmin community, very close-knit, small community known as Madhvas, extremely orthodox. Girls have to be only school teachers And if they are really bright and very pushy, then they can do MBBS, not even MD, and get married immediately. The marriageable age was between 19 to 21. After that, they said, so, she's the old lady, that kind. Whole society was against women's education because they said, why a woman needs education? 1 degree is enough. Preferably, you do BA with Kannada major because it's your mother tongue. You don't have to put a lot of effort. The Kannada, the engineering, the arts college was between 7 to 11, 4 hours. Come back and learn how to cook, how to knit, how to stitch, how to look after children, because ultimately you'll marry at 21. So why do you require a 2nd degree? And there are so many notions like that, And there I get up and tell my father, I want to do engineering. It is like having a bomb exploding in your house. He said, what? Come again. Like in Roja movie, he says, come again, that kind. Come again. I said, I want to do engineering. One of my uncle asked me, do you know the spelling of engineering? I said, of course I know. Why do you want to do? Are you mad? You're a teenage girl. So your brain may not be stable. You will bring a bad name to family. There are so many notions a girl will go to engineering college. More than me, later part of my life, my father suffered a lot because my father was a doctor and a professor. And I came from a middle class family, not from a rich family. Neither I was married to a rich man. I was married to an unemployed man. So money was never a part of our curriculum or life at all. People used to come and tell my father, in India, we are very fond of giving free advices. Okay, whether you like it or not, free advice immediately. Dr. Saab, you have 3 daughters. We are 3 sisters and a son. You have 3 daughters. Please think it over. Your middle daughter, Madhyama, is not sane. She's little insane. Get her a treatment. Why she has to go engineering? Have you ever heard a girl becoming engineering? So, don't listen to her. Pull her back from the college. At the most, let her do BA major in Kannada, social science, political science, which are easy. And get her married off. You have 3 daughters. Poor my father would every time will say, she is not doing anything wrong. She wants to do a degree of her choice. Every time my father has to defend me. And I joined TELCO in 1974. And after 50 years, I went to TELCO again. They called me. I saw there 700 girls, lady engineers working, and in an assembly line. And there was not a single male in the assembly line, only women. They were manufacturing cars. I cried. I cried because of 2 reasons. Number 1, I remembered my late father. Poor chap, he has to undergo so many difficulties because I stood on my principle, I have to study. Second thing, I cried. I can see in my own company, TELCO company, when I was alone, people used to make fun of me. How a girl can come into engineering? It will spoil the engineering field. Today, there are 700 girls assembling the passenger cars. And on the assembly line, and looking at them, I said, in my lifetime, I can see the change. And that's the reason I chose the topic. In 50 years, I have seen so much change, which you can't imagine. It's only a movie you think what I talk. I had a very thick hair. So I cut my hair because it's easy to take bath and brush. I was in the Indian Institute of Science. I felt it is very easy to maintain. And when I went home, it became like except it is in the newspaper, the whole Hubli city came to know Dr. Kulkarni's daughter has bobbed her hair. And in Hubli, we don't have a main and cross like Bangalore. So someone has to come to my father's place, the gynecologist. So a lot of patients used to come. Where is the Dr. Kulkarni's house? They said, the house where the girl who has bobbed her hair, her father's house, no? Take a third house, take a left turn in the 5th house. My house address changed because a girl who bobbed her hair. That kind of atmosphere where absolutely no help in education. My classmates never talked to me. There were 149 boys, and in that entire batch, there were 599 boys. I was the only girl. They said, the new girl has come. It's like a new animal in the zoo. Just look at that, amazing. How a girl can be like that in the class. They used to trouble me a lot. Teachers were not happy because a girl has entered into engineering college. And they always believed, I will fall in love with someone and run away. Without falling in love, still you can do your education. Okay. So nobody was happy. Teachers were not happy, classmates were not happy, society was not happy, aunt and uncle were not happy. They always felt it, she won't complete and she will fail in the engineering and she will bring a bad name. Things have changed a lot. And for the better things. Girls have also changed, but they have also done something wrong. It is nice to be confident. It is nice to be bold in a proper way. But it is not nice to be arrogant. Many people with good education have become very arrogant. They said, in any marriage proposal, I always see the girl will ask, either parents are alive, then I don't want to marry. She wants probably an orphan, I do not know. Or is he on a mainframe machine? Then I don't want to marry. Does he know Java? Even the interviewer will not interview that much. A girl technically interviews the boy. To lead a good, happy life, none of them are required. You require an understanding partner. And that you should look not with the arrogance, I earn more than you, I'm more qualified than you, so I can talk to anybody, anything. That is not fair in life. Behind every successful woman, there is an understanding man. Please remember, the man could be her father, the man could be her husband, man could be her son, but there is always an understanding person behind her or along with her. Then only she makes a better career. So it's true for a man also. Behind or along with a successful man, there is an understanding woman. A woman who can read his mind and vibrate with his frequency. This is what life has taught me. There are a lot of changes I have seen in 50 years. Most of them are for betterment of women. And we should continue to do that one. Education is not anybody's property. Vidyarthi means one who considers vidya or education or knowledge as money, artha. One who loves knowledge, that person may be male or female, it doesn't matter. The vidya belongs to them. That I realized in engineering college. It is not the gender, male or a female. It is your mindset. It is your courage. It's your difficulty, your resilience that makes you what you are. You may think, many people tell me, says Murthy, your life would have been very easy. You went to B.V.B. college, you got a first rank. You went to IISc, you're the first batch of engineering. You went to Tata, you'll be the first lady. I said, no. Behind all first move, there is a very difficult path. A path full of thorns, iron pieces, glass pieces, stone pieces, and untraveled path. To cross that, you require self-belief and hard work. Third one is resilience. And that makes you what you are. Not your beauty, not your father's money, not your husband's money, not what you wear, not what family you come from. Keyu Rana Vibhusha Yanti Purusham Harana Chandrojjola. It says, it is not the kirita what you wear, it is not the necklace what you wear, it is not the flower what you wear. None of them will give you confidence. The confidence should be born within you. And to be born within you, you require courage. A courage to understand yourself. What is right, what is wrong. Courage to know your limitation. What I can change, what I can't. Courage to pick up fights when it is wrong and when it is right. That defines you what you are. Otherwise, all of us can do our degree, get married, go abroad, settle there. Or get married, take up a job, stay in India, build a house in such 60-40 side, go to Singapore and Malaysia for holiday, go to America if your children are there, and do some world tour and be happy, I have made my life. That is not life. Your life should be unique. Your life should contribute something to the society. You should work sincerely and hard. And you have to make your own identity. not by anybody's daughter, not because anybody's wife, not because anybody's mother. Na Rukmini Vallabha, na Vasudeva Sutaha, na Aniruddha Pitaha, Krishnaha, Swayam Krishnaha. Why Krishna was respected? Not because he was the husband of beautiful Rukmini, not because he was the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, not because he was the father of a handsome Aniruddha. Krishna himself had that quality that made him separately to stand apart. That is what a woman's life is. Whatever may be your capacity, in that you have to excel and do well. This is what I just wanted to introduce, and let me now start getting the questions and I'll reply. Is it okay? No courage. Yes or no? Yeah, ask questions. I have time up to 4:45. So, yes, please. I'm surprised girls are not asking questions, though you are 100 in numbers.
Yeah.
No one has a question.
Someone should break the ice.
Yeah, I used to teach, when I used to teach computer science in Christ University, I used to tell, if you don't ask questions, there are two answers. Either you know very well the subject or you are not understood at all. So you don't ask any question. Yes, ma'am.
Namaste, ma'am.
Yeah.
We all know of your success story. If at all you have encountered any failures through your journey, could you share how exactly you encountered them? I believe it will be helpful for all of us sitting here.
What success you see is the tip of the iceberg. What failures and difficulties they have undergone below the water. Okay, you can't see. Many, please sit down. Many difficulties. Many difficulties. Which area I can tell you, it's difficult for me. I will tell you a simple thing in college. In my college, our staff thought no girl can become an engineer, so why build a ladies' toilet? Because there is no lady, even though she comes, the subject is so difficult, she will leave. Why waste money building ladies' toilet? So when I joined engineering college, they thought maybe 1 or 2 months she will be there and she won't be there later. They never built any toilet for me for next 4 years. Because next year I will leave. Maybe after that year I will leave. So never built it. Imagine you are an 18-year-old girl and there is no toilet for you. Is it easy? It's not easy. So I trained in such a way that I will not drink water in the morning classes. I will walk back home and use the restroom and go back to college. It's not easy. And that gave me a kind of understanding what a woman requires. Simple thing in India is a toilet. Higher education is later. First is toilet. So I built 14,000 toilets in rural area later. Every school when I build, I said first I'll build toilet and then I will build classes. I understood what the importance of a toilet. When I was in TELCO, I was in Jojobara plant in Bihar, and that is Jamshedpur. Some men were orthodox. Most men were orthodox. I'm talking in 1974. They said if a woman touches a machine, that year we make losses. So they said you can't touch a machine. They tell on your face, you are 22 to 23 years old girl. They say you can't operate. You should not touch. You should not sit with us. Don't have lunch with us. You sit separate. They exclude you from office circular. They won't give it to me. They said, anyway, she's a female. What she will do by coming there? They discriminated, saying that a woman cannot do. Okay, though you are capable. In social work, when I worked, many people had many concepts about social work. They will make fun of me, like saying that 2 women were sitting and discussing. Their daughter was very dull. The first one said, okay, let her do social work. The second one said, no. Is it that easy? Yeah. You know, Narayan Murthy, poor chap, he worked very hard and made money. Look at his wife. She's spending money on all poor people. No brain at all. They're talking about me. I'm sitting at their back. That's the concept of people. Narayan Murthy's wife is dull-headed and that's the reason she does social work. I tapped on their back and asked, have you seen Sudha Murty? They said, yes, we know her. I said, when did you see her last? Today morning. I said, I'm Sudha Murty. Then they say, oh, you have changed so much. People talk about you like that. You have to accept it. People come and sit in front of you and tell all lies, but you should have an inner eye to know which is right, which is wrong. That is, we say that, how the water and the milk are separated. That idea you should have when you meet your people who come to ask money. Many failures, like Infosys started, there was no money. There's no guarantee you'll become number one, number two, whatever today they call. There's absolutely no guarantee. But you should have hope. You have to build. You have to build a company with hope and hard work. So, on loan, I bought a car and I became official driver to drop, pick up, guest, client, everything for many, many years. And when a client comes, there is no guarantee he or she will be permanent. He will give the account to you. So there's always a hope. And you have to work. And I was 8 months pregnant, and there was a client in Bombay. Mr. Murty went away there. And I had a lot of work, and normally 8 or 8.5 months pregnancy, people don't travel. But I have to take an auto and travel because we cannot lose. We cannot lose customers. And it's only an imagination that you work hard and probably you'll be successful. That is not true. You require many factors to be successful. One of them is hard work. A good team. No politics in the team, that what I and Rajesh were talking. That kind of team you have to build. When I did my SSLC or 10th class in Kannada medium, I did not know a word of, I could not write a paragraph of English when I was 16 years old. I knew my name is Sudha Kulkarni, my father is a doctor. Like that, general 5-6 sentences I could talk. But I could not write one paragraph of English because I learned physics, chemistry, mathematics, everything in Kannada with a Sanskrit background. So, Rupa, Resha, Rekha, all those things. If it is Sanskrit, how they, talk about mathematics, I understand that. But I can't write in English. 3 of us, we joined science college. 2 of my friends said, look, Sudha, anyway, after degree, we'll get married. Why fail in college? Then they will marry me off next day only. So the best way is, let's not do science college, we'll go to arts college, Kannada major, get married. I said, no, I want to do engineering. They said, engineering requires English. So it was so scary for me. I knew the subject, but I can't write in English. So I went to my mother. My mother was a school teacher. So I told my mother that what professor talks, 50% I understand. But when it comes to writing, I can't write even 5%. My mother said, tomorrow onwards, you are going to read English paper. Improve your English. Write 25 lines in English. Learn. Nothing like learning in life. That gives you a joy, knowledge, and that's the only way you have to learn. So I did that. I joined engineering college. I did exceedingly well in engineering college. At the age of 52, first time I wrote my book in English. At any age you can learn. Today probably in children's section, I'm number 1 in India. It is nothing great about me. It is my effort, I'm telling you. You have to put your 100% effort. A girl who cannot write English one paragraph in the year 1966 can be India's top children author. It is nothing but hard work you have to put it. And relentlessly. See, my flight is at 9 o'clock. Let's assume it's 9 o'clock in the airport. I go to airport around 6 or 6:30. 2.5 hours early. Not for any other reason. Signing the books in the counter. Somebody asked me, Mrs. Murty, you're 74 years old. To reach 6:30 to airport, 6:30 a.m. I live in Jayanagar, not in Yelahanka. I have to leave 1 hour, 15 minutes early. That means I have to leave at 5:15. That means I have to get up at 4 o'clock. At this age, it's not required, but it's not money. It's an effort to connect an author to the reader. We have to do. At any age, you have to work hard. There is no shortcut other than working hard. Yeah. Next question.
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, you have been the inspiration to so many women in and around India and outside also. I would like to ask, who is your inspiration?
Different people at different time, not one person. When I was young, my grandfather was a high school teacher, a Sanskrit scholar, a mathematician, a Sanskrit scholar, and historian. So, I brought up in a family with teachers. Always there are teachers in the family. So he was my hero. He could speak Sanskrit. I picked it up from him. I read original Ramayana and Mahabharata with him. He was my hero when I was very young. Later, in a teenage, my father was a hero. My father was an atheist, never believed in religion. He used to tell, my patients are my gods. And you should always help people. That helped me a lot in philanthropy. My father was my hero. Father should say yes. Later part of my life, when I went to Pune, I realized nobody is a hero. Nobody is hero because everybody is human. They have their own pluses, minus. Okay, who is hero? Hero, then whom I should follow? At that time I said, I will follow my conscience. Atmahi atmano bandhur, atmahi ripu atmanaha. Who is your best friend? You yourself. Who is your worst enemy? You yourself. You should always think consciously that what I'm doing is right or wrong. That became, my part of life. Today, after 24 years, I never searched any hero, any role model. I did not do that. I did everything with myself. But I appreciated people who were great. For example, JRD I used to appreciate a lot because number one, he was extremely simple. With that kind of money, he was so simple. With that kind of a stature, he cared for the employees. With that kind of a big empire he had, he was very human. And that touched me. I said, in case sometime in my life, if at all I become well off, I should be like him. That was, I appreciated him, but not like a role model, because role model means you go very near and then you realize they're human. They have their own faults. But I liked Tata's, House of Tata, their philanthropy, their attitude towards money, their care for their employees. I was impressed with them. Similarly, many people, I like them in a different angle, but not a hero worship. Like I like Manjul Bhargava a lot. You must have seen Manjul Bhargava. Some of you at least know Manjul. Manjul was in ICTS for a year. His approach to mathematics, I always tell Manjul, you should become, a school teacher. Because everyone will love mathematics. See, most of the schools, why people don't like mathematics, the teachers are like that. 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 2, 6. The theory behind that. Many people will not, in my class, never understood what is integration. I said it's like Kshatriya used to tell. The area below that curve. So the concept of teaching mathematics, Manjul, I have not seen anyone other than Manjul Bhargava. Fantastic. His depth of knowledge, making it so simple. Is it that simple? 4-year series? Then I realized 4-year series, how we learned, So different people have different quality. And I like to appreciate that irrespective of age, stature, money, position. None of them are important. The quality of a person you should appreciate. Yes. Next. Yes, better.
Namaste, ma'am. Ma'am, have you also encountered situations in your life where you felt lost or alone? If yes, how did you continue to stay motivated and courageous?
Yeah. Many times, I feel things go against you, but I have a very simple principle in life. There are the princess, it seems, because, when I used to teach computer science in Christ University, my course was 1 hour class. 45 minutes I always used to teach. 15 minutes I used to tell a story, something related to that. My students have done very well in life, they have their own software company and all. So they come and meet me. I ask them, I taught you Java, C++, Pascal in those days, database management. Now I think there's so much changed. What was so important to you and which one you remember? None of them we remember. We remember your stories, they say. Okay? Because stories really carry the weightage. I'll tell you a story. There was a very bright princess like you, one of you, like a bright princess. And she wanted to marry a bright boy, bright prince or bright person. So she said, that person should tell one sentence. By listening to that, happy person will become sad and sad person will become happy. And it should be only one sentence. So many people came, they were not able to solve. At the end, one boy solved that one. The phrase is, this too shall pass. Happy person will become sad. Sad person will become happy. So whenever I'm down, due to various reasons, where I cannot help it. When I worked for 15 national disasters, there are dead bodies in front of me, and it's very sad to see that children crying, mothers losing children, children losing parents. Tsunami, I worked very hard. So when the things are very difficult, suppose somebody, your boss is angry with you, your subordinate is angry with you, your colleagues are angry with you, they talk something rubbish to you, you get very upset. What you will do? I don't give reply. I sleep that night. Tomorrow we'll talk about it. By the time you have cooled down. And when I'm difficult, I always say this too shall pass. Because it will never remain with you. The situation change. And that helps me to come up. And always I look at positive side. So what? Yeah, I lost the battle, but I'll win the war. Take life as it comes. And always have a hope for better things, but work hard. That's what I have done. Yes, red shirt.
So, when you want to bring a change in the world, may it be small or big, what is the thing that keeps you going and helps you not give up on that?
Oh, somebody asked me what are difficulties you had. Please sit down. Okay. Pimps used to call me and said, break your knee. They always threatened me, I will break your knees. And you get down at Raichur, you will not go back. So it was very scary. I took police help at that time. I required police help at that time. What kept me going is poverty. Poverty of the people. When I look at poor people, I always become very conscious. I said, what can I do to reduce somebody's difficulties? Then I always feel sensitive about that. When Infosys became very successful, we got a lot of money. And a daughter of a school teacher getting money, we don't know how to spend also. Because I don't have expensive habits. Neither I have an attitude towards that. So I used to ask this question to myself, Whenever you get time, you have to always ask questions to yourself. Not somebody should ask, you should ask questions. I asked why I got this money, for what reason? There are many people who worked harder than us. There are many people who are more intelligent than us. There are many people who are smarter than us, but we got the money. The jackpot came to us. Why? And maybe my background is like that. I always thought there is a reason why money came to us. And I was always searching what is that reason. When I worked with prostitutes, it was the most difficult job. Every year, like today morning, afternoon, I was talking to Rajesh and telling that you want to see any change in education, invest 10 years, you can see. You want to see any change in higher education, invest 20 years. You want to see any change in sex workers, you invest time and money for 20 years, you may see or you may not see. Okay? So 17, 18, 20 years I worked continuously. I was not sure whether I'll be successful or not, but when 3,000 of them changed, that's something I call 3,000 stitches. 3,000 sex workers changed their life and came to normal way of living. That day I realized why the money was given to me. The money was given to me only to help others. That is, after that my wish list became absolutely zero. There's nothing I look forward. But in all these projects, you should be very practical and reasonable. You should not assume like a Hindi movie, in 3 years, in 3 hours, she can become a prime minister or she can become a big person and she will become like Mother Teresa. Those things don't happen in real life. Any social change is very slow. Very slow. But if you work continuously, there is a possibility there may be a change. And keeping that hope, I worked. And it has given me a dividend. But you have to work continuously. You should not leave in between. And people do talk bad things about you. They threw chappals at me first time. All these sex workers, very first time, they threw chappals at me. Second time, they threw rotten tomatoes at me. But I have to accept it because they were angry with the society and I represented them, that society. So you have to have enormous amount of patience And you get it when you start working. And then a hope that maybe tomorrow is better. Or at least in my lifetime, I can make a dent. May not be exact thing, but let me make some awareness, some dent in their life. Yes.
Good evening, ma'am. I just have a question. How do we not let the past experiences, whether it be good or bad, affect our future decisions and future prospects of our life?
You have to learn from bad decisions, You have to learn from bad decision. And that is to keeping yourself as a third party, not involving in that. Why this happened? You have to become like an observer for the bad decisions and learn what went wrong, and you should not repeat. As a teacher, I used to tell my students, people who sit on the chair will never learn. People who walk, they fall. When they fall, they learn, and then they get up and walk again. So I used to tell my students, every day you make new mistakes, not the same mistake. That means every day you try to walk different direction and you fall, and that is a mistake. So whenever you fail, or whenever bad decisions happen, bad things happen, you should be an observer and observe that why it has happened. And whenever it's a good thing happen, you should not sit on the glory of that. Oh, I did this, I did that. Actually, you don't do. When you are successful, there are many factors in that. That is the reason you are successful. You should not own all that success. Okay, I have done this. There are many reasons why you have become successful. If it is bad, you should never remember it. I mean, you should never, every day you should not remember. Somebody talk to me like that, I will see, settle the scores with them. Don't do that. You're wasting your time. What you have to look forward in life. Now this has happened. What is the best decision I can make? That's the way you have to look at it. At least I have done that way. Many people have talked ill of me, but I won't remember. That fellow talked to me like that. Then when I see the same people who made fun of me in TELCO, I should not touch machine. After 50 years, some of them came to meet me. And I should not remember. I knew who are the people, but I never used that one. I said, it's okay, yaar. Let go. When you learn let go, you can progress in life. You stay in the same thing, then you don't progress. Let go, it's okay. Okay, fine. Thank you. Next one. Yes, sir. Because always girls are talking, let boys talk.
Ma'am, actually, we see that from generation to generation, women have been set some limit, like you can study. The next generation is okay, you can get a job or something. Currently, at least in my surrounding, I'm seeing that they can study, they can get a job, but that too, they have to get a job in Bangalore only and get married and settle. When this kind of things are imposed on them, then few people fight through it, but few women accept those limitations. So as being a father or a husband, as the main person in their life, how can a father or a husband build a confidence in their daughter or wife to come out of that?
Well, how you build confidence with your wife when she is a professional and she wants to be in Bangalore or she wants to make her career? How to build the confidence as a man you are talking? How woman should
How we can support them to achieve beyond that?
See, I will tell you how to build confidence is how women build confidence with men. The same thing is true, no? For her also. How a woman always, the society expects a woman can be, you should give confidence to husband, look after the house, then bring up children well. Then in the office they expect a girl should professionally do well. So it's a lot of things they expect from a girl. But the other counterpart is not true. So I felt as a mother with my daughter to bring them up, I always told them, the genders are different. That does not mean mindsets are different. Mindset is same. The gender is different. It's a God's creation. That does not mean your brains are different. Emotionally, girls are wired differently. I always tell them, girls are wired differently emotionally. That's the reason She's more compassionate by and large. Men are, that doesn't mean men are not compassionate. Men are there, they are wired differently. Life is nothing but the combination of both, boy and a girl, a man and a woman. They are not competitors. It is like black. What is black? Opposite of black is white. Opposite of day is night. Opposite of woman, not man. It is not man. He is not a competitor. He is a companion. And same thing is for a girl. So I always tell as a mother, there is no difference between a man and a woman, except a woman can deliver a baby and a man cannot. Okay? And that's the reason it's called mother tongue. And as a mother, you have a lot more privilege and a lot more responsibility. And coming to men, I tell them, you must learn in this era to help your wives in kitchen. It solves a lot of problem. Don't say that your wife should go to office, come back and cook. You know, my mother used to cook. Yes, your mother used to cook because she never went out to work. She was not a research scholar. You expect your wife should be a cook at home and office, she should bring home from the, she should go to office and bring money. That is not possible. So we live in that kind of a society where the rules for men and women are different. But it is you can make equal. It is you can make equal. So men have to learn helping to bring up child and cooking. Women have to understand that they have a limitation and they have to take help of others. Both, then only it is possible. Men have building confidence, the way woman builds a confidence with her husband is the same. There is no difference. Yes, anyone else? Yes, beta.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am. So, congratulations for going to the parliament. And I have read so many of your books and I have been storytelling them to my siblings. And there's a book, The Magic of the Lost Temple. And I really like that book. Thank you for giving such a wonderful book to me. Whenever I read that book, I feel like I am the little girl like running through a South Indian village. And thank you for making me experience something I've never lived. So I have two questions. Sometimes what happens is whenever me and my parents discuss something, I have some different views on some social topics, and whenever I express my views, I feel like I'm rebelling when I'm not even doing that. And sometimes I feel guilty that I'm doing this to my parents, I'm worrying them by my thoughts. So how do I get rid of that guilt? Like, I know I'm not doing something wrong, but the persons I'm speaking to, they feel I'm doing wrong, and them feeling that makes me feel bad.
How old are you?
18.
A teenage, no? When you're in teenage, you talk like that. Parents should understand. When you're in teenage, you talk like that. But only control when it happens. There's nothing wrong because new ideas come only, please sit down. New ideas come from only youngsters. Old people don't get new ideas, okay? So when my children were in teenage, they will also do the same thing, They will come out now with a raised voice. I said, okay, I understand your point, but don't raise the voice. Reduce it and tell whatever they used to tell. I will multiply by 0 and keep quiet. I will never show any. Because I did that to my parents. No, I knew that one. So they will also cool down over a period of time. And I will let them have children. They will be much, they will be like a papad in a water, I used to tell them, okay? So when you talk, only don't raise the voice, but you can always give your ideas to them. And your parents should also understand. Let us talk. That doesn't mean anything will happen. Take it easy. Things change. As as you grow and see life, things change. And like what Winston Churchill told once, at the age of 20, if you are not an idealist, you don't have a heart. You continue to be an idealist at the age of 40, you don't have brain. Okay? People change. Time changes. Experience changes. Failure changes. Success changes. Money changes. There's a lot of change will come in life. But you should be very clear about what you do. There are so many. It's like, like you're standing and a lot of water flows on you from different direction. There is so much water, but you have to stand still. And the water comes down. So are the emotions. So are the hormones. So are the, you think, oh, this is the end of life and nothing is the end of life. Oh, without marrying this fellow, I will die. Nobody will die. Okay? If I don't do my PhD, I should do my PhD because that's my aim. If I do my PhD, I will be the world's great scientist. Don't think that way. I'm always a student. I have to do my PhD. Okay, I have to work hard for that. Then if I want to be world's great scientist or mathematician, then you have to work 10 times harder than that. You don't come just like that from the sky. That you should know. You should be realistic about what is happening. Okay. Yes, beta.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm a first year electronics and communication engineering student.
Which college?
Jadavpur University. Ma'am, I spoke to you outside.
Yeah, I told you. It's a very good university, I told.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, if you could give one piece of advice to someone who is just starting out their engineering degree, what would that be?
You should enjoy your subject, actually. For that matter, not only for engineering, for everyone sitting here, I want to tell you, you should enjoy your studies, what you study. If you don't enjoy, then you're a mediocre person in that subject. Suppose you tell me I should join economics, I'll be a third-class student because I never enjoy economics. I always enjoyed spending money, but not economics. If you put me to a cooking class, I may eat very well, I enjoy food, but I can't cook well. So everybody has so many liking and passion about someone's subject. If you're not passionate, don't do that. You'll be mediocre. People who have excelled, all are passionate about that subject. Whether it's engineering or non-engineering or Kannada or Bengal or Bangla or whatever it is, you should be passionate about your subject because that gives you a kick, that gives you a joy. Yes.
Namaste, ma'am.
Yeah.
So in general, we always feel that we don't have time. So to do that, to do this. So you are managing so many things in your life, in your day-to-day life. You are writing, you are learning. I heard that you are learning Hale Kannada. You are going for the classes, if I am not wrong. So you are doing so many things. How will you manage your time, ma'am? I'm curious to know.
I value time. That's the reason. I keep my diary every day. I keep about a year's diary in front of me. Entire year, I write, my programs are fixed. Please sit down. You're standing or sitting? Sitting. Please sit down. Okay. I keep my diary. I'm very punctual about my work. I don't waste time unnecessarily. I value a lot. My students are in Malleshwaram and I'm in Jayanagar. They get married. They send me wedding invitation. I send them e-Ashirwad because I said, going to your wedding is a waste. It's a waste of time. From Jayanagar to Malleshwaram, there will be a traffic jam. 2 hours is wasted. And without me also, you can get married. Right? Without me also, you can get married. And you can video call and you can see sometime. So don't expect. I always believe in a wedding, you should not call too many people. Actually, I always believe in that. It's my personal feeling. Because, coming in Bangalore, wasting 4 hours for a wedding and all birthdays, every year it comes. So I don't go to anybody's birthday. Wedding, I don't go. So social events, I don't spend time. Then for the 3 days wedding, people always pack up 5-6 saris and go for Mehndi, Sangeet, the Devruta, this, that, None of them. I save time. That's one. And I'm very particular about diary. If it is not in diary, I won't do that. I don't write every day. I don't write every day. When my stuff is ready in my mind, then at a stretch I sit and write for 15 days, 12 days. 6 hours a day I write. Only 4 o'clock I get up, 10 o'clock I finish my writing. Part of it, and then I go to office. I can't afford to take leave. I'm writing, I can't come to office, I can't do that one. So 4 to 6, 10 I write for 15 days. Then what else I do? Apart from that, Hare Kannada, yeah, because from my background, I'm very fond of Sanskrit and Pampa Purva Kannada, so I went for a 1-year diploma class in that, Indology, and then 10 years I called teacher to come and teach me at home, because that gives me happiness. What makes me happy, I do, and that's the reason I never feel tired. What makes me happy, I do, as long as it's legally, ethically right. Okay, thank you. And I don't talk about somebody, that fellow did like that. I went to the wedding, they insulted me. I went to the wedding, they gave me this sari, which was really not good. None of them. I tell them, don't give me sari. Because then why we will do a post-mortem of that? Don't give me sari. Don't give me any gift. I'll go, whatever is there, very little transactions I keep. Yeah.
Quick question. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh.
Here. Hi.
Yeah.
Of all the books that you've written, which was your favorite book to write and why?
How many sisters, siblings you have? How many you have? Okay. You are only one daughter to your parents.
Yes, I have 2 kids and they
You
love
have
your
2
books.
kids. You have 2 kids. Which kid do you like? Love more?
I got your answer.
So all my novels or all my books are my children from my mind. I love them all. But over a period of writing for the last 79, my first book came in 1979. My next book is going to come. The recent book is not next book. This year, not even first. This year, book will be released next Sunday. Gopi's Day Out, my next book. So all books are very dear to me. But my method of writing since 1979 to 2024, it has undergone a lot of change. One is with the age, with experience, with art. It's like a craft actually. Craft of writing, I have learned it. So the style has changed, but all books are very dear to me. Probably the well-crafted book, according to me, in terms of the crafting of the book, is 3,000 Stitches, or Here, There, Everywhere, which I dedicate to my brother. That I consider is well-crafted. In terms of the stories, I think the whole set of grandma, grandparent, a new one is going to come on 23rd August. That is Grandpa. That whole set, I feel. In terms of the novel, I feel House of Cards is well-crafted. So those 3, in terms of my experiences with the Infosys Foundation, I still feel 3,000 Stitches. Yeah. Last 2 minutes are left. Anyone wants to ask questions?
Hello. Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Like I am pursuing my B.Tech second year in computer science engineering in cybersecurity. Like you are the role model for my pursuing my B.Tech. As I ask you, like, give some valuable inputs as experience of your engineering, so that I cannot find any bugs in my further life.
It won't happen. Life won't happen that way. I can give you any advice to you, any experience. But life is very strange, I will tell you. My father used to feel, we never had our own house for a long time. My father was not a rich man. He was a professor, okay? After his retirement, he built a house. He said, my children should have their own house. They should not struggle like me after retirement. We had our own house. Then I said, okay, my father felt, they will not have any struggle. But we had Infosys struggle and many more struggle. I thought, my children should not have that kind of struggle, but they had some other kind of struggle. Please remember, difficulties and struggles in life are like waves. They come after one after another. But types are different. My difficulties are very trivial to you. Your difficulties are very trivial to me. I'm able to solve your difficulties. I can give free advice to you. No, don't do all these things. But that is not correct. Everybody should have their own, not we should have our, life gives you difficulties, but the varieties are different, the quality is different, and the subject is different. They are like waves in a sea, you can't stop. Then how to come out of it? You should know how to swim, or you should know how to water surfing. When difficulties come, you have to jump. When difficulties come, you have to face. When difficulties come, you should know how to handle it. That's the only way in life you can progress. Not avoiding it, or not saying that I should not have any difficulties. That is impossible in life. That's the reason Byron says, our sweetest songs are those which tell our saddest thoughts. People who are sensitive, who suffer, who are sensitive for somebody's difficulties, only those people can write. Those people can do philanthropy. Otherwise, let people suffer. Why should I spend my time? People who are sensitive in their heart, who understand someone else's difficulties, can do writing as well as philanthropy. That's what I learned in my last 40, 50 years. Thank you very much for patient hearing. Actually, I told Rajesh I'm a wrong person to call here because I forgot my mathematics in so many years. I'm with the people, their problems, their difficulties, where mathematics doesn't appear at all. But I like to meet youngsters, because that gives me happiness, that gives me a kind of enthusiasm to see next generation is better than my generation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Mrs. Murty, for sharing your thoughts, your deepest thoughts, your insights into life. And I think, as you can see, I think this could go on forever. But I'm sure it has inspired many people here. And so thank you for spending all that time with us and with the students here. We have a small little memento. It's not a sari. It's just an ICTS mug and a t-shirt and a sweatshirt. So just when it feels cold, maybe you'll have something which will this thing. So it's. Yes, that's the idea. So once again, I really wish to thank Ms. Murty for coming all the way. As you know, she really values her time, and to have spent half a day with us, I think is really your kindness. So I hope you will come again to our campus on other occasions. There will be many young people, I'm sure, wanting to hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Spenta ji called me many times. I said, is it on the way to airport? He said, a little bit, my yardsticks are like that. Is it on the way to station? Okay. And it is off the airport, but I didn't get time. Today I got the time. Thank you very much. Manjul called me so many times. His mother called me, should come to ICTS. It's so beautiful. But I didn't get time. And thank you very much, UK. I got an opportunity to come and address. We'll see, God willing, we'll definitely make some time again. Thank you. Okay.
There is, I think, some tea again outside, perhaps. But anyway, so have a good evening. Thank you all.
They're all mathematicians. They have to go back to work.